नमस्कार सभी भक्तजनों का स्वागत है हमारे थर्सडे के जूम सत्संग मीटिंग में। हम लोग भगवद गीता का अध्ययन करते जा रहे हैं। चतुर्थ अध्याय, फोर्थ चैप्टर, 14th श्लोका, वर्स नंबर 14 पे आ गए थे लास्ट वीक। उससे आगे हम बढ़ेंगे रिकैप करने के बाद। और आज हमारे आचार्य जी यतेंद्र शर्मा जी हमारे समक्ष नहीं हैं, वो कहीं गए हुए हैं हॉलीडे पे। तो आज मैं ही करूँगा, मंगलाचरण से शुरू करूँगा। ये भद्रं कर्णेभिः देवाः, भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा, स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टवाङ्गं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवा, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षर्योऽरिष्टनेमि, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं, देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घयते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे, तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी, वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्, उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्, उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम्, उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं, भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं, भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। आइए हम भगवद गीता चौथा अध्याय, 4th चैप्टर एंड 14th श्लोक, उसी को रिकैप करके आगे बढ़ेंगे। तो
न मां कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति, न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा, इति मां योऽभिजानाति, कर्मभिर्न सबध्यते।
Translation: Activities do not taint me, nor do I desire the fruits of action. One who knows me in this way is never bound by the karmic reactions of work. So, as we discussed last week, in this translation, the word me, the M is capitalized in the word me in both places. So, Bhagwan Krishna is actually indicating, well, this is the translator's job, but it's being indicated by the translator that Bhagwan is saying that it's about me. So, but when he says one who knows me, and again capitalized, we can use that me for Bhagwan himself and for us as
The individual.
individual soul as well. Um,
Yeah.
So that's what we discussed last week, and Yatindra ji said, yeah, consider it that way as well. Then you will uh, be inclined to know your real self, and as a soul, as a jivatma, and you will try to inculcate these qualities, these knowledge, that nor do I desire the fruits of actions, and activities do not taint me. And that can only happen if we truly identify ourselves with the actual spirit soul rather than the body. So the crux of the whole matter lies on this um, this expertise, so to speak. If we can build that expertise to completely understand and resolve this issue once for all, and say, well, I'm not this body, I am the spirit soul, and all these things, uh, desires, and these they don't taint me. The fruits of action, it doesn't matter to me, because everything is happening according to my favorite shloka, prakriti kriyamanani. So three gunas are working, and everything is being activated by nature, and this body is part of it. So things are happening. I should stay kind of above all of this, and so things won't uh, things won't affect my true reality, which is the spirit soul. Right? So, anytime anybody wants to add anything or have opinion or a question, please raise your hand, and then you can unmute and talk about it. If not, then we gonna continue reading next and next shlokas. ठीक है जी. So now the next shloka, number 15.
एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वै पूर्वतरं कृतम्.
Yeah. Translation. Knowing this truth, even seekers of liberation in ancient times performed actions. Therefore, following the footsteps of those ancient sages, you too should perform your duty. So, इसमें थोड़ा सा आगे पढ़ लेते हैं. The sages who aspire for God are not motivated to work for material gain, why then do they engage in activities in this world? The reason is that they wish to serve God and are inspired to do works for His pleasure. The knowledge of the previous verses assures them that they themselves will never be bound by welfare work that is done in the spirit of devotion. They are also moved by compassion on seeing the sufferings of the materially bound souls who are bereft of God consciousness and are inspired to work for their spiritual elevation. The Buddha once said, after attaining enlightenment, you have two options. Either you do nothing or you help others attain enlightenment. Thus, even sages who have no selfish motive for work still engage in activities for the pleasure of God, working in devotion, who also attracts the grace of God. Shri Krishna is advising Arjuna to do the same. ठीक है. Next shloka.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्.
Yeah, translation. What is action and what is inaction? Even the wise are confused in determining this. Now I shall explain to you the secret of action, by knowing which you may free yourself from material bondage. Yeah, this coming up shloka is very important and my favorite subject. The principles of dharma cannot be determined by mental speculation. Even intelligent persons become confused in the maze of apparently contradictory arguments presented by scriptures and the sages. For example, the Vedas recommend non-violence. According to the Mahabharata, Arjun wishes to follow the same course of action and shun violence, but Sri Krishna says that his duty here is to engage in violence. If duty varies with circumstance, then to ascertain one's duty in any particular situation is a complex matter. Yamraj, the celestial god of death, stated, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam na vai vidur rishayo napi devah. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.19. What is proper action and what is improper action? This is difficult to determine even for the great rishis and the celestial gods. Dharma has been created by God Himself and He alone is true knower. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that he shall now reveal to him the esoteric science of action and inaction through which he may free himself from material bondage. Yeah. I noted some verses, some things from the internet yesterday. We will discuss that later on after we actually study this uh, little further. So,
I'm looking at,
Hanji?
the purport in this book.
Yeah,
The out of causeless mercy to his devotees, the Lord explains directly to Arjuna
yeah,
what action is and what inaction is.
yeah.
Only action performed in Krishna consciousness
Hmm.
can deliver a person from the entanglement of material existence.
Yeah, there is a big emphasis in Srila Prabhupada's books on Krishna consciousness. Everywhere he needs to
Talks
incorporate
about
that.
that.
Yeah, he talks about that. He incorporates that within every matter, wherever, even if it is not actually said in that Sanskrit shloka, he has to incorporate that because he's big on that Krishna consciousness, meaning you have to be conscious of of Lord Krishna's vibhutis, like he is the supreme Godhead. So
Right,
you
right,
have to be conscious of that, and then all your karmas, all your thoughts, all your exercises in life will be conducted in such a fashion that you will not be bound by the reactions of those karmas. You
right,
know,
right, right.
but
Yeah.
here Lord Krishna is actually saying these things in Bhagavad Gita himself. His actually these are the quotes from him, you know. So he's not going to say here, "Oh, be Krishna conscious." I mean, he does say that in some other shlokas, but not in
Mhm.
these shlokas. He doesn't need to say that in these shlokas, so he doesn't. So, but Prabhupada ji has this habit, of
Of
adding that
repeating.
Krishna shloka, repeating that, which is not bad. It's good for his disciples to understand where he is coming from. So,
So it's a matter of interpretation of what
yes.
Krishna said, what Lord Krishna said.
Yeah, matter of interpretation, or even adding that this is what Krishna means to say. I'm telling you,
Right,
this is
right.
what I think Krishna means to say. So they have different schools, because
Yeah, yeah, correct.
he comes from a school of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. There is these sampradaya, meaning it's like group of people. So you could call it sect, or you can call it a group of people, sampradaya, the community of people. So he comes from the community of Gaudiya Vaishnava. So all these groupings, they have certain beliefs. Their leaders, kind of teach them certain beliefs, certain understandings of literature in their own way by reading over time, because it's not a short history, hundreds, thousands of years, millions of years
Thousands of years.
history.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the books we are reading, these can go back to like 2000, 3000, 5000 years. Nobody knows exact dates,
Exactly what it is.
but
Yeah.
but
True.
the oldest scripts on Bhojpatra, like long kind of sheets
Yeah.
written with some kind,
Tablets.
yeah, tablets kind of things. Uh, those are there. So people are like translating in different ways, understanding different ways. It's अपना अपना भाव है, but
Right.
I
Exactly.
I believe because we are not a kind of we feel we are not whole in ourselves, so we getting inspiration from somewhere. We sit down meditating and trying to
Right.
understand something, and suddenly we get this, oh yeah, okay, this is going to be the meaning of this. Let me tell my friends over here, this is the meaning of it. And these friends are good listeners, they actually respect me, and they just say, yes, yes,
Swallow it.
you're
Yeah.
you're right about it. So we consider
Good.
you our acharya, and you continue teaching us. So this is how Yatinder ji became our acharya, because
Became
he
our
was,
teacher. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was just explaining things and all that in our group, and I found that very good, because he had all the references and everything. So he would give us those, and so I said, "You are our acharya." So
Yeah.
he said, "No, no, I'm nobody's acharya. I'm nobody's guru. Nothing. I'm just one of you. Just we are discussing." The subject and trying to learn. I am just one of the students, but
Yeah. Well, he's
I call
doing
him
what
Acharya.
Krishna is actually doing in the book.
Yeah, yes. Ultimately, the higher power is actually leading everything behind the scene,
Right.
because he's ever present in everybody's heart, as they say, as Krishna says it, I am in your heart.
Yeah.
Hridayeshe Arjuna Tishtati. So it's being
Perform every
guided
action. So yeah. So
by the
the
higher
meaning,
power.
we
And
we should perform any action in Krishna consciousness. Yeah. This is
Hanji,
the meaning of this shloka. Yeah.
this is the
So we
meaning
should
of this shloka.
yeah, we should perform every action in Krishna consciousness.
Chalo, ठीक है, that's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Um,
Yeah. So
As long as you have satisfaction in what you're doing
yeah,
in consciousness, so that you don't do evil. That's how I
yeah,
would interpret it in my way. That
yeah,
as long as I'm doing good and I know I'm doing good and in the honor of the Almighty, whether the person who's receiving what I'm doing
yeah,
likes it or doesn't like it, I did my share.
yeah,
And then it's done, and let's see what happens at the end. And I will have to answer for that when I am gone.
yeah,
That's exactly how the life works.
yeah, and it's all comes back to that one word, dharma.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so dharma is what actually dictates, because God created this thing called dharma, like follow uh, these rules. So they are the just set of rules. Just like you said, you don't do evil. So how will you know if it's evil or not? Like in this case, in particular, this particular case where Lord Krishna is teaching Arjuna, you have to fight, And he
You have
says,
to fight, yeah.
no, that's a lot of violence. I'm going to be killing my kins, my grandfather, sire, all these people, all these are my brothers and all that. So that's where Lord Krishna is trying to make him understand that they are on the other side of dharma. They are on adharma. Adharma means opposite of dharma.
Opposite,
Yeah,
against.
yeah, against the dharma, dharmic principles basically. So they are against dharmic principles, and we need to put things right in the whole society. So we need to teach them a lesson. We need to teach the whole society a lesson that no, if you side with the adharma, then you will be taught lesson. You will
Be
fight.
punished. You'll be
Yeah,
punished.
you will be punished, and you may be annihilated.
Yeah.
Because in those days, even now, fighting means like you resort to go out and you follow the order of your commander, and you go out and fight, and you are told that you are fighting for the principles of righteousness. So you go out and fight. You're protecting your land, your community, your culture, everything, so you go out and fight. So they go out and they are allowed to fight, and the reactions don't come to them, because now they are actually following their commander's lead.
And they
They
are
didn't
not
go out.
sinners. They are
Yeah,
not sinners. Yeah.
yeah,
They are doing their duties. Yeah. They are not.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about dharmic principles, and to follow those, and to the extent that even if you have to actually go and join that army to protect those principles, you have to do it if you are able-bodied and all that.
Right.
In my state, I wouldn't be joining an army to protect. I'll leave that to the younger
But you
generation.
will stand up and look after your
Yeah,
family.
yeah, I'll
You'll
stand up and
fight
look
to look
after my
after your
family.
family.
Yeah, yeah, at least I can do that, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Everyone is supposed to do that.
yeah. चलिए नेक्स्ट श्लोका पढ़ते हैं, नंबर 17.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम् गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Translation: You must understand the nature of all three recommended actions: wrong action and inaction. The truth about these is profound and difficult to understand. So, recommended actions are usually the ones that comes from our scriptures, um, and also they indicate what is wrong action. But anything opposite to the recommended action is a wrong action, basically. And inaction is a very, very important and interesting word. Inaction, we might say inaction means not doing anything, or if I see that, nah, I stay away from it, that's inaction. But that's not the meaning which is indicated here, which is intended here. You will learn about that soon now, in the next shloka also. So let's read the commentary. Work has been divided by Sri Krishna into three categories: action, karma; forbidden action, vikarma; and inaction akarma. So this inaction word has a Sanskrit word akarma. You know, action karma is auspicious actions recommended by the scriptures for regulating the senses and purifying the mind. Forbidden action, vikarma, is inauspicious actions prohibited by scriptures since they are detrimental and result in degradation of the soul. Well, there is no degradation of the soul, but at least the living entity, the jeev, uh, you know, puts himself into that kind of situation. Inaction, akarma, is actions that are performed without attachment to results, merely for the pleasure of God. They neither have any karmic reactions nor do they entangle the soul, meaning the jivatma. The actual soul is never entangled anyways. So it's the jivatma, the one that we discussed before, uh, the aham bhav that's in us, that oh yes, I am this body, I am doing this, I am doing that, that one, that's jivatma. So for them, it's a binding. If we don't offer our karmas to God or the higher being, you know, that's how it's explained. So karma, vikarma, and akarma. Yeah, next one is very crucial and difficult to understand shloka. Let's read this one. Number 18.
कर्मण्य कर्म यः पश्येद् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्न कर्मकृत्.
Yeah, translation is, those who see action in inaction and inaction in action are truly wise amongst the humans, although performing all kinds of actions, they are yogis and masters of all their actions. See, how can we see action in inaction? Because, there is no correct word in English language for the akarma word of Sanskrit. So all they could use is this English word inaction, and indicate that, oh, there is another meaning for this word inaction. So you have to understand in this context. So action in inaction, there is one kind of inaction where persons look upon their social duties as burdensome. That's what I was referring to, burdensome, and renounce them out of indolence. They give up actions physically, but their mind continues to contemplate upon the objects of the senses. Such persons may appear to be inactive, but their lethargic idleness is actually sinful action. Oh, even that is an action. So you can't get away from it. It's a sinful action. When Arjuna suggested that he wishes to shy away from his duty of fighting the war, Sri Krishna explained to him that it would be a sin and he would go to the hellish regions for such inaction. Inaction in action, there is another kind of inaction performed by karma yogis. They execute their social duties without attachment to results, dedicating the fruits of their actions to God. Although engaged in all kinds of activities, they are not entangled in karmic reactions, since they have no motive for personal enjoyment. There were many great kings in Indian history: Dhruv, Prahlad, Yudhishthir, Prithu, and Ambarish, who discharged their kingly duties to the best of their abilities, and yet, because their minds were not entangled in material desires, their actions were termed akarma or inaction. Another name for akarma is karma yoga, which has been discussed in detail in previous two chapters as well. So it's like expansion of that karma yoga that has been explained.
Confusing.
Yeah, confusing, like in our state, as a you know general person, we are not kings or anything. They're giving examples of kings, but we are just a common uh, person. So how do we relate with this principle of karma, vikarma, in our
The main
daily life?
culprit is doers, the sense of doership. So, karma जो है, karma arises when the sense of doership, when the individual feels that, okay, I am the body and I am the doer and I have control over the results. The दोनों है, it's not only the what leads to a karma is not only the non-desire for the results, but also the deep down feeling that I am not the doer. जैसे पहले हमने पिछले चैप्टर में पढ़ा था, प्रकृति is doing everything. And Prakriti is doing it just with the presence of Purushottama, just the presence. Because Purushottama is not acting, he is a witness. Sada Sakshi, he is a Sada Sakshi. But just the presence of Krishna, that makes Prakriti gets his energy from Krishna, his presence. तो काम सारा जो है प्रकृति से हो रहा है. And कर्मा वो है जो कि अब when there is no sense of doership, चाहे आप जो भी करो, when there is no doership कि मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ and it is being done through Prakriti. So that is what is akarma, when there is no sense of doership or ego attached with, the sense of ego, ahankar, कि मैं कर रहा हूँ, जो मैं निकल जाता है, which again it is all related. When you discard the sense of the body and the individual self, automatically the doership goes away, because up to है नहीं, it's the body is just a tool which is acting on the will. Again that word come on the will of the soul, will of the atma, the पुरुषोत्तम या कृष्णा कह लें, जो भी कह लीजिए. So that is basically a karma की doership नहीं होनी चाहिए इसमें. I don't know if that interpretation is correct or not, but
what makes us do what we do?
That is two things. एक तो general way, जैसे पिछले chapter में था कि प्रकृति, but what is prakriti? Basically when an individual is born, so his software has been given to him. He has not made his software, and his social conditioning has not been, it is not in his hand. जहाँ पैदा होता है, individual जीव जहाँ भी पैदा हुआ, he has no control where he is born. I mean, a जीव may be born in the house of a criminal, पूरे वो है, the worst kind of sinner, and he may be born in that family. He has no control over it. उसका सॉफ्टवेयर और डीएनए जो है उसको दिया गया है, the dacoit or the killer or the terrorist, जो भी कह लीजिए, it is in his, that is prakriti, that is part of the prakriti over which he has no control. The hardware and software is been given to him, so he will act according to that. तो उसको कह लीजिए prakriti is acting, or another person may be born in a very religious or a very spiritual family. तो वो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो अपनी spirituality की वजह से कर रहा है, but he has been given that particular software and hardware, to circumstances, that social conditioning, so he's acting as per that. So in a way prakriti is acting. So घूम फिर के तो वही आ जाता है, everything is being done by prakriti. और action तब हो जाता है कि when although it is being done by Prakriti, but the individual feels कि नहीं मैं कर रहा हूँ, it is my effort and I will be in control of the results. तो वो फिर सारा जो है karma and all that arises because of that. I don't know if this
It's a tough
explanation
one
makes
for
sense.
me. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so just like you were saying, this willful action, इसके ऊपर मैंने थोड़े से कुछ नोट किए थे from online. Just last night I was looking at this subject and I've got 4 of those quotes. One says, for something to become karma, the requisite is the living agent and willful action, not a compulsion act. It means a self-aware entity performing a willful action. The human being is the self-aware entity that functions as an agent for the work by using their senses to act. So I found that quite meaningful here, to understand how things are working. And then it says, what are the 4 types of karma in Bhagavad Gita? The 4 type of karmas are Sanchit, accumulated karma, which is Jayanti ji's favorite, Sanchit karma, Prarabdha, allotted karma, Agami, future actionable karmas, and Kriyaman, present actionable karma. Okay. What does Krishna say about karma? Lord Krishna said, Arjuna, those who see action in inaction and inaction in action are truly gyani, wise persons. Although performing all kinds of actions, they are yogis and masters of all their actions. Bhagavad Gita 4.18, which we just read. And then the 4th one says, what is the highest karma according to Bhagavad Gita? Selfless action. The central theme of Karma Yoga is altruism or selfless action. It emphasizes performing one's duties and responsibilities without any expectation of personal gain or reward. The focus is on acting for the greater good and offering the results of actions to the divine. Yeah, in our day-to-day life, we can kind of loosely simulate this kind of behavior, but I don't think that we, at least I am not capable of, adopting this whole principle in real life without being totally a renounced person like a sannyasi. Until I just renounce the whole everything and become a sannyasi, it will be a very hard thing for me to actually fulfill this promise of selfless action in completeness. I mean, partially I do it, I fudge, I try that. I'm just telling you my experience. It's hard to. I try to do the selfless action, but at times, the selfish motive kind of creeps in, and so it's not a complete success for me, I can tell you. But it's worth learning all this and giving it a shot. Whether we succeed or not, I guess भगवान पे छोड़ना पड़ेगा हमें. जब भगवान चाहेंगे तो करवा देंगे वैसे सक्सेस. चलिए नेक्स्ट वन पढ़ते हैं.
Next one.
यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणम् तमाहुः पंडितं बुधाः.
Translation: the enlightened sages call those persons wise whose every action is free from the desire for material pleasures, and who have burnt the reactions of work in the fire of divine knowledge. The soul, being a tiny part of God who is an ocean of bliss, naturally seeks bliss for itself. However, covered by the material energy, the soul mistakenly identifies itself with the material body. In this ignorance, it performs actions to attain bliss from the world of matter. Since these actions are motivated by the desire of sensual and mental enjoyment, they bind the soul in karmic reactions. In contrast, when the soul is illumined with divine knowledge, it realizes that the bliss it seeks will be attained not from the objects of the senses, but in loving service of God. It then strives to perform every action for the pleasure of God. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer as oblation to the sacred fire, whatever you bestow as a gift, and whatever austerities you perform, O son of Kunti, do them as an offering to me. Bhagavad Gita 9:27. Since such an enlightened soul renounces selfish actions for material pleasures and dedicates all actions to God, the works performed produce no karmic reactions. They are said to be burnt in the fire of divine knowledge. Yeah, I never speak that much in our meetings. Usually Yatindra ji does all of that. तो मेरा तो गला सूख जाता है बोलते बोलते. Yatindra
No,
ji
you're
कहेंगे,
doing well. You're doing well. You're
yeah,
engaging us.
यतेंद्र
That's
जी कहेंगे,
important.
या अब आपको पता लगा कैसे करना होता कंडक्ट, आपका गला सूखेगा.
त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गम् नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
Translation of this number 20th shloka. Such people, having given up attachment to fruits of their actions, are always satisfied and not dependent on external things. Despite engaging in activities, they do not do anything at all. Wow.
Now it takes you in a different direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this book says, abandoning all attachment
Yeah.
to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent. It performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings.
Yeah.
So you have to abandon, you're doing everything. Where do you go?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of a mindset. I would say that once you build that sort of mindset, um, with some practice, I mean, Krishna consciousness is not obtained just by mental speculation, actually. The book that you're reading, Jayaji, that Bhagavad Gita as it is, according to that, you have to actually do some practice every day, you have to offer food to Lord Krishna, and then you can eat. Every time you have to eat, you offer something to Krishna, and then you eat. And you always keep in mind Lord Krishna, and you chant Hare Krishna mantra 108 times mala, 16 rounds of those malas. So the fastest chanters I have seen, they finished the 16 rounds in hour and a half, 2 hours, but they're like doing very very fast, you can hardly understand what they are saying, what they are chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. That is like being too fast. No, I don't like that. You have to pay
It is
attention to what
exercise
you're
for lungs.
chanting. A good exercise for lungs. Yeah.
They complete 16 rounds in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah.
Acha, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why they have to do the limit of that?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any limit for that. You
No.
do the mantra whenever you feel like.
Whenever
Because
you
if you
feel.
talk continuously, there is deep breathing. And then pause. So it is one kind of pranayama. Deep
Yeah.
breathing, hold, and then expiration. So it
Yeah.
is one way good for lungs. So let them.
I believe whenever you feel like, do as much as you can.
Yes.
There shouldn't be a low limit, 10
Yes.
or 16 or 20, whatever.
Yeah.
Target
up
should
to
not be
every- it's
finished
up-
12 or 16.
Just
Yeah.
to please yourself, they say we did 16 times. Or
Yes.
do fast. I don't think it's useful.
Actually, Prabhupada ji has already recorded 16 rounds of mala. So you can chant, yeah, and just play the video, yeah, like this, and then you can chant, yeah.
I can say,
It is
if you chant for 1.5 hours continuously, then you see what happened to you. Or 2 hours chanting continuously, no break in between. You see how you feel, what kind of bliss you can get it. That's my experience. I don't know. Everybody is
that's good.
different. Everybody do their own ways. Everybody enjoy differently. But now I am not doing anything. There was a time I did with my guru's ashram, or you can say that they have a center in here, Mississauga or Pickering. Now I don't go anywhere after COVID, but you do chanting continuously 1.5 hours or 2 hours, no break in between. Then you see how your body works with that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we had experience.
Yeah.
Actually, you can stop the video play करके ना उसको after 1 hour you can stop it. उसके बाद आप पानी पी लें या उसके बाद then you can start, yeah. ऐसे
No
16
money, no
rounds.
nothing. In this one,
Yeah. No,
in this
listening.
one,
round,
you
yeah.
don't feel like drinking
Yeah.
anything. You drinking the different
Yeah.
bliss.
Yeah.
You
they
don't
do
need
this.
any water or anything. No, your throat is not get dry or anything.
Yeah.
बाकी
जो
आई
chanting
क्लोज
कर रहे हैं,
करके
because
एक माला भी
I
गिनेंगे शांति से, तो देन
Yeah.
इट इज वेल.
Yeah. 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 My missus does
भगवान
that.
भगवान
She
पे ही
does.
ध्यान
She
रख
does
के.
one mala. ध्यान से chanting करती है. तो
देयर इज सम मीनिंग.
Yeah.
व्हाट इज द
अंदर
मीनिंग?
से
देखो,
अंदर से
रामा
कोई
रामा
आवाज
रामा रामा
आती
रामा
है.
रामा रामा करके मरा करके हो जाएगा. उसके
हाँ,
बदले
अंदर से
राम
deep
राम
down from the
राम करेंगे तो
inside.
राम ही होगा.
Yeah.
No, जब कोई भी काम करो, हमारे से होता नहीं है. मैं करती हूँ जब मेरे को आता है. जब कोई भी काम इंटरनल अंदर से जो होता है ना, वो बात बनती है. उसके ऊपर से तो हम रोज ही माला फेर
No
लेते हैं,
meaning.
पाठ भी कर लेते हैं.
Yeah.
कुछ नहीं बनता.
नो
पर
मीनिंग.
जब जिस दिन अंदर से होगा ना, उसी दिन इफेक्ट होगा.
Yeah.
वो होता नहीं है. कहते हैं ना, अंदर से आवाज निकालो. कैसे? ऐसे थोड़ा आवाज निकलती है.
Yeah.
वो तो
Yeah.
उसकी कृपा हो तो निकल जाए अंदर से आवाज, अंदरली आवाज है नहीं निकलती जल्दी,
Yeah,
बड़ा ट्राई किया नहीं होता।
yeah.
Reminds me
Sarojpuri
of
ji is here. Sarojpuri
reminds
ji
me of
has
the
a
time when
hand
I
up.
बाकी ठीक है, रूटीन रोज का जो है वो कर लेते हैं, जिस दिन प्रभु की इच्छा
Saroj
होगी
is
हो
saying
जाएगा।
something.
Yeah, no, Saroj ji is is doing all kinds of
She's
antics.
just giving
She, yeah,
hands up.
she is not able to put her video on or something.
Oh,
Let
okay,
me ask her
okay.
to unmute
कुछ
herself.
बोलना चाहती है।
Yeah, तो unmute करे ना।
मेरे हस्बैंड यूज टू ही ऑलवेज टेल मी, अंदर से आवाज निकालना, वो कैसे निकालूं, पकड़ के थोड़ा बाहर आ जाएगी। तो बट व्हेन ही डज समथिंग ही डज इट, इट मींस इट। एंड जब वो कोई बात कहते थे, सचमुच भगवान जाने उनके पास सिक्स सेंसेस थी कि क्या थी, वो बात सच्ची हो भी जाती थी।
अच्छा, सच्चे
पर
दिल के
हमारे पास तो
इंसान।
इतनी शक्ति है नहीं, हम झूठ बोलते नहीं, हम तो रोज का रूटीन नित्यनेम कर लेते हैं, जो प्रभु इच्छा।
नहीं, अच्छी बात है, नित्यनेम थोड़ा सा तो करते रहना ही चाहिए, जो जितना कर सकते
चैंटिंग
हैं।
करो, थोड़ा करो, मगर गुड कर्मा करो तो बहुत फल मिलेगा।
हाँ, गुड कर्मा तो
देयर इज नो मीनिंग इन चैंटिंग।
है, और गुड
राम को
कर्मा में
याद किया,
जस्ट
मन से एक बार याद करो तो भी बस है।
बस वही
वो
तो मैं कह रही
50-100
हूँ,
टाइम रामा 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 करके क्या फायदा।
मन की तो बात मैं कर रही हूँ, अंदर की आवाज का मेन मन,
यस,
मन से जब
या
होता
वो
है कोई काम तो
एक्चुअली
देयर इज नो
उन
मीनिंग।
उन्होंने 16 राउंड्स जो किया था ना, वो उनके जो गुरुओं ने सब ने उनको रेकमेंड किया हुआ है कि अगर तुमने इस लाइन में आगे बढ़ना है तो आपको ये रियाज की तरह है, रियाज करना। जैसे लता मंगेशकर कह रही हैं, अरे मैं
हाँ,
चाहे गाना है चाहे नहीं स्टूडियो जाना है कि नहीं जाना है, मैं रोज सुबह उठ के मुझे रियाज करना ही पड़ता है क्योंकि अदरवाइज मेरा गला रह जाएगा, राइट। तो अब उन लोगों के लिए अगर वो उन्होंने लाइन पकड़ ली है तो हरे कृष्णा वाली, तो उनको ये रियाज अपना माला वाला करते रहना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज दे आर आउट ऑफ
indirectly
प्रैक्टिस। या
in that you will not think of any bad or good thing.
या
So that is one type of meditation कि राम 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 करते जाओगे तो कुछ याद ही नहीं आ जाएगा कि खाना पकाने का है, कि खाना खाने का टाइम हुआ, कि किधर
या
जाने का है। You will not remember.
या
So it
पर
is one way of
डेडिकेटेड
concentration to of the mind.
नहीं, ऊपर वो उसके लिए डेडिकेटेड वो टाइम देना पड़ता है। एक सेकंड, मैं ना अभी सरोज जी का आंसर कर लूँ फोन कॉल। हाँ जी सरोज जी।
अच्छी बात है करना, कोई बुरी बात नहीं है। बाकी
पता नहीं हमारा
नहीं,
तो
मगर I feel
ऊपर
there is
है
no meaning.
तो
अपने अपने कर्मों का अपना अपना फल।
Instead of chanting good karma करोगे, that is useful. मन में भगवान का डर रखो
मैं
कि
तो कोई
भगवान
कुछ
है,
नहीं बंद करता,
मगर देयर इज
मैं
नो
क्यों बंद
मीनिंग
करूंगा।
इन चैंटिंग।
मैं तो आपको कह रहा हूँ, आस्क टू अनम्यूट भी किया है मैंने, तो अभी अनम्यूट ही नहीं। हाँ, अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं। चलिए, तो हमारी अभी चल रही है भगवत गीता की क्लास जो है ना, मीटिंग। तो आप अगर कर सकते हैं दूसरे डिवाइस से ज्वाइन तो करिए, सो वी विल कंटिन्यू, और अदरवाइज यू कैन जस्ट लिसन इन। आप फोन से कर लीजिए, जिस भी डिवाइस से कर लीजिए, बट बी अश्योर्ड दैट नोबडी इज नोबडी इज स्टॉपिंग यू टू ज्वाइन। कोई यहाँ पर हम बटन नहीं प्रेस करते, कुछ नहीं करते हैं, नथिंग। सो यू जस्ट ज्वाइन व्हेन एवर यू कैन। आईपैड से नहीं हो रहा, फ़ोन से कर लीजिए। या ओके, चलिए ठीक है, ओके।
एटलीस्ट सब हमारे पास अच्छी कंपनी तो है,
या
कंपनी का बहुत प्रभाव पड़ता है। एटलीस्ट वी हैव अ गुड कंपनी।
या एटलीस्ट वी हैव गुड कंपनी। तो चलिए हम थोड़ा सा इससे आगे बढ़ते हैं।
20
लिविंग
20
या 21
21
या श्लोक नंबर 21।
निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रहः शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्।
Translation: free from expectations and the sense of ownership. With the mind and intellect fully controlled, they incur no sin even though performing actions by their body. Yeah, ये तो ठीक है कि free from expectations and sense of ownership. So ये हम ये कर सकते हैं. अगर ये भी कर लें, then we can kind of be close to this kind of result. Expectations रखो मत, और सेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप जो है उसको छोड़ दो. सब भगवान का है, और जैसे भी चल रहा है चलने दो. पर कर्म जो है वो उपयुक्त कर्म जो है वो उनको करना मत छोड़ो. जब तक शरीर साथ देता है करते रहो. नेक्स्ट वन.
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते.
This is number 22, translation. Content with whatever gain comes of its own accord and free from envy. They are beyond the dualities of life, being equipoised in success and failure. They are not bound by their actions even while performing all kinds of activities. Yeah, this is very good because
You don't take blame. There's no blame taken by the individual who performs the functions.
no blame taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says is who is steady in both success and failure is never entangled, although performing the actions.
Yeah. Never entangled.
So
yeah.
The example you gave before, where the soldier he goes to kill people, he gets an order.
Yeah.
And when he gets an order, he just does the action.
Yeah.
But he's free from blame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blame goes to the head on one side, and I have to answer to my head when I go there and say, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And I'll have to explain.
Yeah.
So I'm blameless.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but it's complicated as you come through the journey.
Yeah. Yeah, but in our case, like in our day-to-day life, all we are dealing with is our family and some
Community.
friends,
Right.
some society around us, and we just have to kind of use this knowledge to kind of equip ourselves to get some success in this matter, that how we can turn all of our actions into inaction, meaning
Right.
akarma. So why, as long as we are in that category, akarma state, all our actions are in that state, we are free from the reactions of those karmas. That is the biggest part of it, because we all these life after life that we are getting is because we are bound by the reactions of our past karmas. That is
what number is it? Sorry.
That,
Namaste.
Namaskar. What number is it, please?
This
chapter
is
4.
chapter 4, number 22.
22.
We just
Thank you,
read
sir.
it. Yeah, so that's why we are bound by our actions, and we have to take repeated births and these experiences we go through. Um, Not that there is like anything is wrong with it, like there is a progression, it's going on, we are part of the material nature. At least we are being some service to the material nature. Even nature is भगवान की माया जो है, it's doing a job of continuing all these experiences for variety of species in here. At least we are at the top of the heap, the human species. At least we are there, and that's something to celebrate about. But we need to find a way to get out of this repeated, punarapi janamam punarapi maranam, that shloka from हमारे शंकराचार्य जी का है, पुनरपि जनमम पुनरपि maranam. Like we need to get out of the cycles of birth and death. But you cannot force anything, you can't force your way out of it. You have to equip yourself with the right knowledge, the right science, the right understanding, and then incorporate those things into your daily practice, and then you can basically find a smooth journey out of it, and nobody is going to hamper your progress. That's the way I understand it. So the sloka we read, they are not bound by their actions even while performing all kinds of activities. Just like there are two sides to a coin, so too God created this world full of dualities. There is day and night, sweet and sour, hot and cold, rain and drought, etc. The same rose bush has a beautiful flower and also an ugly thorn. Life too brings its share of dualities, happiness and distress, victory and defeat, fame and notoriety. Lord Rama himself, in his divine pastimes, was exiled to the forest the day before he was to be crowned as the king of Ayodhya. While living in this world, nobody can hope to neutralize the dualities, to have only positive experiences. Then how can we successfully deal with the dualities that come our way in life? The solution is to take these dualities in stride by learning to rise above them in equipoise in all situation. This happens when we develop detachment to the fruits of our actions, concerning ourselves merely with doing our duty in life without yearning for the results. When we perform works for the pleasure of God, we see both positive and negative fruits of those works as the will of God and joyfully accept both. यह हमारे यहाँ तो कहते हैं ना, भगवान की इच्छा से जो भी है होता है, ठीक ही होता है. So that is what is said over here. So राजी जुड़ गए हैं, and नमस्कार राजी.
नमस्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते
Namaste, Raji.
थैंक यू
नमस्ते नमस्ते
नमस्ते
नमस्ते
Yeah, so yeah,
आप
fourth
खुला में
chapter.
रहिए
नमस्कार. Fourth chapter and श्लोक number 23 पे आ गए हैं.
गतः सङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते.
Translation: They are released from the bondage of material attachments and their intellect is established in divine knowledge. Since they perform all actions as sacrifice to God, they are freed from all karmic reactions. So भगवान के लिए अगर काम करेंगे तो अपने आप ही वो रिएक्शन से छुटकारा दिलाएंगे. Right? In this verse, Lord Krishna summarizes the conclusion of the previous 5 verses. Dedication of all one's actions to God results from the understanding that the soul is eternal servitor of God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jivera Swarupa Hoyo Krishnera Nitya Dasha. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20.108. The soul is by nature the servant of God. Those who are established in this knowledge perform all their actions as an offering to Him and are released from the sinful reactions of their work. Sometimes people have difficulty accepting the word servant. We had one or two attendees in the past in our these meetings. They had difficulty with the word servant. Why should I be servant? And then when the word came, you surrender, surrender. Why should I surrender? Why surrender is a bad thing? No, why? I have done nothing to to surrender. Baba is not that kind of surrender. It's just
in the
that
spiritual world.
in the spiritual world, it's a different kind of surrender, but surrender it is for sure, because that you are a mini school in terms of the power which is available overall. So Raji कुछ कह रहे बताइए.
नहीं, मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि I also object to the word servant because it has different connotation than das. Okay, das is our terminology, if you really want.
Okay.
But this translation servant is a dirty translation in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a different connotation.
They don't have the equivalent words that good in English language,
Yeah,
because it's a different culture, a different civilization altogether, the where English comes from.
Yeah, true. But we fall for it. We fall for it.
क्या करें अब, the whole thing is in English here.
No,
what we
we
are
can
reading
use
here.
that. We can use das. We can use Sadhak. So many. See, this is what we fall for. What others tell us. That is our one
Downfall.
weakness. Because see, Malhotra has written and in many places he's written a book on it, and he says that, you see, if we don't stand for ourselves, then who will? Who else will? And that's what is happening to us. And then we try to defend it. That English doesn't have any word. That is true. But our behavior should be, okay, we will say das, we will say saranagat, we will not say servant. That's it. We stand on it.
Yeah, but for a person who is totally novice, they don't have any knowledge of Sanskrit or Hindi, and they are in front of you and you're trying to explain it to them, or he's part of your group. How do you explain to them? You have
No,
to. They're gonna say, "Oh, Guruji, I don't understand what das means. Can you explain to me?" Oh, it's like servant. Then then I have to say servant.
Comes back.
What else?
no, but that I don't take that explanation, Deepak ji, because
Okay, आप समझाइए. चलिए मैं
नहीं
इंग्लिश बंदा हूँ. आप दास समझाइए मुझे. कैसे समझाएं?
I tell you.
हाँ,
Bhakta Vedanta has already solved this problem. You
Okay.
see, if first of all they don't want to understand and they know we are falling for it. So if we don't fall, they want to understand, they should try. Just like I had to try or you had to try. I didn't understand Gita, nothing. So I had to try for it. And if I don't try, you can never make me understand. We don't understand this very simple principle of interaction. We say, I'm going to make you understand it, and then we have lost.
नहीं, मैं आपको सिंपल पूछ रहा हूँ कि आप मुझे इंग्लिश में दास समझाइए without using the word servant.
No, so
समझाइए.
I say,
Yeah.
if you want to understand das, because servant won't just do it. It just doesn't fit. It gives wrong meaning. So the only thing is, if you want to understand, you have to understand my language. Like with Chinese, with any other culture, it's not done. It's
So
not
you're
done.
saying, yeah, there is no
Can
way
we-
around.
can
You
we-
have to read, you have to study Sanskrit and understand it, and then you are incorporated in our system. Otherwise, go do whatever you want. You can't.
That's correct. Then we are standing on our ground. Otherwise, we are falling.
या अगर उस तरह से प्रभुपाद जी चलते ना तो इतना बड़ा इस्कॉन नहीं खड़ा कर सकते थे.
No, but he did. He did. He made people behave in our way. That's what I exactly
वो
am
तो
saying.
प्रैक्टिस करा करा के किया ना. बट टू यूज द वर्ड्स दे स्टिल यूजिंग इट. द वर्ड सर्वेंट आप उसमें से पढ़ लीजिए. जय जी आपके पास है यू नो दैट श्लोका वी रेड.
Prabhupada.
या
No, so
Translation?
okay, I won't say anything anymore. The only thing I would say is I want to stand what I believe in, and if you want to understand, you see Dalai Lama. The guy asked which religion is best. Okay, when he was in Brazil, I think this famous Catholic reporter, he's world famous. I forget his name. So he said. Sir, which religion do you think is best? So the Dalai Lama answered, look, ask me a question about Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism. I will answer you because I don't know other religions, because I will make mistakes. So, and there is no need to say which is best, but as far as I'm concerned, I know my religion and ask about that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So if you keep falling, you will fall. If you are named one, then the next question is ready.
Yeah.
So anyway,
let's
One
see
second,
Jay ji reading English translation for 23rd shloka.
Becoming fully Krishna conscious, one is freed from all dualities and thus is free from the contaminations of the material modes. He can become liberated because he knows his constitutional position in relationship with Krishna, and thus his mind cannot be drawn from Krishna consciousness. Consequently, whatever he does for Krishna, who is the primeval Vishnu. Therefore, all his works are technically sacrifices because sacrifice aims at satisfying the Supreme Person, Krishna or Vishnu. The resultant reactions to all such work certainly merge into transcendence, and one does not suffer material effects. So there's no talking about taking blame,
Yeah.
because you do it in the Krishna consciousness mode. So once you do it in Krishna's mode, whatever you do is blameworthy.
Yeah.
See, it's not, no, you can't take blame. You're following the leader.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what this book says.
Okay. Which shloka did you read?
23.
Okay. Okay, good. So let's just do one more shloka and then we will stop. Most likely time will be 4:30 then. It's 4:27 now. So shlok number 24.
Oh.
I will read that.
ब्रह्मार्पणम् ब्रह्म हवेर् ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतम् ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना.
Translation: for those who are completely absorbed in God consciousness, the oblation is Brahman. The ladle with which it is offered is Brahman. The act of offering is Brahman, and the sacrificial fire is also the Brahman. Such persons who view everything as God easily attain Him. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा आगे रीड कर देते हैं. Factually, the objects of the world are made from Maya, the material energy of God. Energy is both one with its energetic and also different from it. For example, light is the energy of fire. It can be considered as different from the fire because it exists outside it, but it can also be reckoned as a part of the fire itself. Hence, when the rays of the sun enter the room through a window, people say the sun has come. Here they are bundling the sun rays with the sun. The energy is both distinct from the energetic and yet a part of it. The soul too is the energy of God. It is a spiritual energy called Jiva Shakti. Sri Krishna states this in verse 7.5. And, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Lord Krishna is the energetic and the soul is his energy. This has been stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Puran, etc. Thus, the soul is also simultaneously one with the different from God, one with and different from God. Hence, those whose minds are fully absorbed in God consciousness see the whole world in its unity with God as non-different from Him. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, one who sees God everywhere and in all beings is the highest spiritualist. For such advanced spiritualists, whose minds are completely absorbed in God consciousness, the person making the sacrifice, the object and the sacrifice, the instruments of the sacrifice, the sacrificial fire and the act of sacrifice are all perceived as non-different from God. Having explained the spirit in which sacrifice is to be done, Lord Krishna now relates the different kinds of sacrifice people perform in this world for purification.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. So we completed up to number 24
24.
and we will continue from there next week. Anybody has any comments or any questions so far? you can say, and then we move on to
Can I
the
talk?
next part. Hanji.
Yep.
When any patient goes into coma,
Yeah.
and as a doctor, if it is coma for any other reason, chemical changes or anything is there, we can treat it, and he or she will come out of it. But when it is brain dead, then there is no hope. But doctor cannot remove the machine, that respiratory machine or oxygen or IV or anything. It is told that it is unethical. And if they continue, patients relatives say पैसा कमाना है इसलिए चालू रखा है. What you say?
We don't know what to say, Jayanti ji. I mean,
Before
this
coming here, my husband's cousin was admitted. He was 80-year-old and he was brain dead. And I am practicing since 75, so I know all the doctors, owners of the hospital or anything. So I told him that it was second day only. I told there is no meaning in keeping on a respiratory machine or a ventilator or a IV or anything. What is the use of feeding or anything when he is brain dead? Then he told, no, it is unethical. We can't remove ventilator or anything.
Yeah, no,
And I talked with family members. And then relatives only. And again, I told house surgeon who is looking after, I stopped IV, I stopped ventilator, and we took him home. But as a doctor and as a hospital owner, it is unethical. So like that, I removed 3 patients. So what you tell? It is bad karma or what?
No.
Coming to the karma.
No.
नहीं तो अपन बोलते हैं ना कि आप नरक में सड़ोगे, तो that is one type of नरक only. नीचे ये रखेंगे, उधर एयर बैग, यूरिन बैग, ये बैग, और सालों तक जिंदा रखते हैं. वो KEM की नर्स को भी कितना बरस तक जिंदा रखा ना, मीनिंगलेस ना.
If I just interfere here, in this country, you can make a will, like I have already got a will. They do not sustain me on this fashion.
If they follow your will, it is okay, doctor. But Indian doctors, they don't follow.
No, but it is clearly.
I mean, unethical.
देखो मेरे पास properly है, अभी भी है, and should this situation arise, they will switch it off. I'm told them to do it. So मेरे कहने का मकसद similar in India में भी होगा. I don't know much about it.
I have told same thing to everyone. God knows what will happen. But I cannot understand the law. And especially these doctors, when it is brain dead, you know that he is not going to survive. Then why you continue?
See, the problem is this day and age, there are a lot of litigations, lawyers, and things are very complicated. And that's why they're protecting your, I hate to use, to cover yourself. This is a protection. But I agree with you. One should not live forever. I mean, if it's that kind of dependent existence, not even existence, it should be switched off. And with the consent of the patient, firstly. And if it is not capable, then the family have, like in my case, my daughter's got full authority. In my absence, she can take any decision. So, what I'm coming to is, I don't know about India, but यहाँ तो ये option.
मेरे neighbor की patient थी, सासू, mother-in-law. She was 130 or 140 kg. एक हाथ ऐसा elephant के पैर जैसा था. She was in coma for 3 months in hospital. Then she brought her home. And she came to me. I stay opposite building only. And she was crying. Doctor, abhi kya karu main? Itna bada bed sore means 1 foot by 1 foot bed sore on the back. And maggots formation was there. Whole room was smelling. 3 months in hospital. And then 15 days she brought her here. Then I told her, better you don't tell your family members and stop everything, because both of them were working. Then slowly you ask nurse to stop IV and stop feeding orally with rice tube. Then she expired after 15 days. So what you say? I did sin?
No, I wouldn't say you did sin. You were listening to somebody's concern, and which is a good
like
thing.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, सबको अपना अपना डिसाइड करना पड़ता है
IMA
अपनी अपनी फैमिली के बारे
IMA का
में.
हेड प्रेसिडेंट सबको मिली. We
Yeah,
can't change the law.
yeah.
देखिए जयंती जी, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये आप धर्म संकट का प्रश्न कर रही हैं.
नो धर्म संकट.
हाँ.
रियली के मीन्स
नहीं नहीं
पेशेंट को
नहीं,
अपना
नहीं,
फ्लैट
हम-
बेचना पड़ेगा उनका
मुझे
ट्रीटमेंट
कुछ
करने
कहने
के लिए.
दीजिए, मुझे कुछ कहने दीजिए. तो ये मेरे लिए धर्म संकट का प्रश्न है. तो इसमें यही है कि जो आप सर्कमस्टांस में ठीक समझें, या जो भी डिसीजन ले सकता है, या चाहे परिवार वाला हो, चाहे लिख के हो, कैसे ही हो, वो जो भी ठीक समझे वो वही ठीक है. तो इसलिए जो है इसमें कहना कि क्या ठीक है, ये समटाइम्स इज नॉट पॉसिबल. वो गधे और बाप बच्चे वाली कहानी जो है,
बिल्कुल.
उसमें कोई सोल्यूशन है ही नहीं.
हाँ जी.
आप वही करिए जो आप ठीक समझे. नहीं तो
Yeah.
कोई कुछ कहेगा, कोई कुछ कहेगा, और लॉ भी क्लियर नहीं है.
Yeah.
अब जैसे आप अगर स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज में चले जाओ, तो उन्होंने क्या कह दिया है कि हाँ, डॉक्टर ये जरूर अपना ओपिनियन देगा कि क्या कंडीशन है, बट यू कैन अरेंज फॉर ए यूथनेशिया and go away from here. They charge, I don't know, maybe I think it's $10,000 to $15,000, and they will even arrange, the surroundings you want and people and so on. So, that kind of solution is available.
But not in India.
हाँ, इंडिया में तभी तो मैंने कहा स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज में है.
एक ही कंट्री में है पूरा वर्ल्ड में. मैंने सर्च किया एंड आई अप्रोच्ड इवन IMA हेड एवरीवन.
आपको बताया तो था, हमारे एक गुप्ता जी फ्रेंड थे, तो उन्होंने अपना किया था यूथनेशिया. जब शुरू ही हुआ था यहाँ ओंटारियो में, अभी जैसे परमिशन मिली थी, विद इन 6 months ऑफ द टाइम, लाइक ही अप्लाइड राइट अवे एंड ही गॉट, बिकॉज ही वाज सफरिंग फ्रॉम, ही वाज सेइंग, my body is like a vegetable, I can't do anything, so there are problems, and I want this solution. So yeah,
So the bill is called personal care. The bill in Ontario is called personal care. And if you authorize that, they will not let you die. It's not like they will not put all the support system. What I've said to them, if it's not beneficial, just take the sports off, and naturally whatever happens.
yeah.
दूसरी एक पेशेंट थी, तो शी वाज इन सो मच पेन. मैं उसकी डॉटर की फ्रेंड थी करके गई, तो शी इज टेलिंग, मुझे मार दो, मुझे कुछ दवा दो, आई वांट टू डाई. बट स्टिल उसको नींद नहीं आता था, तो दे वर नॉट रेडी टू गिव स्लीपिंग टेबलेट. और आई वाज हर फ्रेंड, मैंने कहा उसको शांति से मरने दो ना. आई गिव स्लीपिंग टेबलेट, इट इज साइड इफेक्ट विल बी लेस एंड सी विल सी. वो खुद मरना चाहती थी, मगर सेडेटिव देने से वो खराब होगा करके डॉक्टर नहीं दे रहे थे. व्हाट टू डू?
अच्छा, उसको
आई गिव, वो पीसफुली सी डाइड विद इन 2-3 days.
हाँ, आपका कहना ठीक है जयंती जी, बिल्कुल. जब कोई इतना सफरिंग उठा रहा है, तो वो यही कहेगा ना कि मुझे बस जाने दो, मेरी छुट्टी कर दो. तो तब उस टाइम हम थोड़ा कंफ्यूज रहते हैं.
नहीं, अगर वो क्योर होता है तो वी विल नॉट अलाउ. चांसेस है कि क्योर होने का है, देन वी मस्ट ट्राई टू सेव हिम.
फिर उसको रखिए, तो और रखिए.
बट वी नो दैट शी इज नॉट गोइंग टू सर्वाइव, नॉट इन द नॉर्मल लाइफ, नहीं जी सकेगी. देन
चलिए, थोड़ा सा ये डाइग्रेस हो गया हमारे टॉपिक से.
इंडिया में तो बिल की बात है, बस बिल बनाना है उन्होंने.
इंडिया
बिल का कुछ फायदा नहीं है.
They know already. The person already dead, then still they are not letting people come in the relative. Just the bill is increasing.
No, they are not doing for bill. It is
ऐसे
unethical.
के
They are
लिए
not allowed to
वो
give.
अनएथिकल इसीलिए बोला है कि बिल बन रहा है उनके लिए, या जी जय जी क्या कह रहे हैं?
Canada has a bill
या
as a new law, which
Yeah.
was passed in February.
या
The law no longer requires a person's natural death to be reasonable foreseeable as an eligibility criteria for
Yeah.
maid. As of March 17, 2021, persons who wish to receive maid must meet the following eligibility criteria: 18 years of age or older. So we have the bill.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, we have the bill, but there is still a lot of deliberations going on. They're not making it official Canada wide.
Yeah, you've got the conservatives are playing it
Yeah.
and using it as a election ploy.
Yeah. चलिए तो 442 हो गए हैं, तो
भजन करते हैं।
एक भजन कर लेते हैं और उसके बाद हम लोग 10 मिनट्स मेडिटेशन की ओर बढ़ेंगे। तो आज मैंने ये भजन निकाला है, सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है। थोड़ा सा ऊपर करना पड़ेगा। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है, सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है, दूर सुनाने वाला है, बोल रहा जो दूर नहीं है, दूर बुलाने वाला है। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है, दूर सुनाने वाला है, बोल रहा जो दूर नहीं है, दूर बुलाने वाला है। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है। सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी, दर्शन उसका दूर नहीं। सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी, दर्शन उसका दूर नहीं। वह तो हर दम पास दूर तो, वह तो हर दम पास दूर तो, दर्शन पाने वाला है, बोल रहा जो दूर नहीं है, दूर बुलाने वाला है। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है। डाल जरा दृष्टि रचना पर, सृष्टि देख उस ईश्वर की। डाल जरा दृष्टि रचना पर, सृष्टि देख उस ईश्वर की। वह तो हर एक जीव में है, वह तो हर एक जीव में है, और जीवन का रखवाला है। बोल रहा जो दूर नहीं है, दूर बुलाने वाला है। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है, दूर सुनाने वाला है। बोल रहा जो दूर नहीं है, दूर बुलाने वाला है। सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है, सुनने वाला दूर नहीं है।
वेरी गुड, बहुत।
चलिए, आप में
ये
से
कहाँ से निकाल के लाए आप जीवन में?
है जी?
बड़ा अच्छा भजन है, कहाँ से निकाल के लाए?
ये बहुत देर पहले मैंने सुना था। मेरे फादर इन लॉ और मदर इन लॉ इंग्लैंड में गाया करते थे अपने सत्संग कीर्तन वगैरह में, तो मैंने वहाँ से नोट किया था। आप सुनाइए कोई, राज जी।
मेरे तो सर में दर्द हो रहा है।
अच्छा, ओ या तो आपका वो टेनाइटिस हट गया था?
हाँ, वो तो ठीक हो गया। ऐसा होता है, कभी कभी आना चाहता है लेकिन चला जाता है।
अच्छा,
लेकिन वो इसके करने से ही ठीक होगा, ये तो मुझे पता है।
दैट्स वेरी गुड। जयंती जी
किससे
को
किससे ठीक हो गया आपका?
मैंने बताया तो था आपको, आपने जो ये शून्य मुद्रा जो बताई थी।
हाँ, उससे ठीक होता है।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, दो दिन में ही ठीक हो गया, जैसा कि आपने बताया।
मेरा नहीं हो रहा है ना।
है आपको वापस आ गया?
राजेंद्र जी बता दीजिए, ये किसी को भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है।
इतना प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है कि डे
तो बड़ी
एंड
परेशानी
नाइट
होती है।
म्यूजिक बज रहा है कान में।
अच्छा, मेरा तो ठीक हो गया। और अब जैसे
अभी लेकर ही बैठी हूँ शून्य मुद्रा। शून्य मुद्रा भी काम नहीं आ रही है।
यह तो लग
गोली
रहा है
भी
कि
खाया एक।
आपको सेलेस्टियल ध्वनि सुनने लग गई है जयंती जी। आपको वो ना जो गॉड रियलाइजेशन पूरी होने वाली है।
क्या मालूम
नहीं,
क्या हो
ऐसे
रहा है।
डू दिस मुद्रा, वो कहते हैं दिस मुद्रा सबके लिए अच्छी है, सब बीमारियों के लिए।
ये तो ज्ञान मुद्रा है।
कितनी देर के लिए
दिस मुद्रा,
नहीं
दिस
नहीं, ये
वन
तो ज्ञान
सबके
मुद्रा
लिए।
है।
ज्ञान मुद्रा।
ये तो
ज्ञान मुद्रा, ज्ञान
मैं
मुद्रा।
समझ गई, पर कितनी देर के लिए
तीर्थल में मुझे ठीक हो गया।
मैं तो बैठी रहती हूँ, तो मैं ऐसे ही कर लेती हूँ अपनी वो कहते हैं पैर भी ऊपर नीचे करो,
आपको हुआ नहीं है ना?
नहीं नहीं, वो
होता है
तो नहीं हुआ,
मालूम
पर मैं तो वैसे ही इसको करके बैठी रहती हूँ।
जयंती
पर
जी, मैं
कितनी देर
बताऊं?
के लिए करते हैं? 15 मिनट, 20 मिनट?
नहीं नहीं, ये नहीं, ये नहीं, ये
समझ गई मैं।
अंदर
वही
का,
शून्य
अंदर
मुद्रा
का,
ही है, मगर नॉट
अंदर
विथ
अंदर
दिस
का,
फिंगर।
लाइक ए
इट इज
जीरो,
विथ
लाइक ए
मिडल
जीरो।
फिंगर।
हाँ,
नहीं
मिडल
नहीं,
फिंगर
मुद्रा।
करने
उसमें
का है।
टर्नाइटस में नहीं होगा।
इन्होंने तो पहली फिंगर की हुई
ये
है।
सब मैं ट्राई
नॉट
कर
मिडल
लूंगा।
फिंगर, दिस
जो
फिंगर, नॉट
बड़ी
Literally
फिंगर, बड़ी फिंगर।
जयंती
all
जी,
day,
मैं
come
आपको
here.
अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताता हूँ टर्नाइटिस का।
कौन सी फिंगर
तो
करते हैं आप?
देखिए, जब मुझे हुआ था तो महीने 2 महीने पता नहीं 6 महीने चलता रहा। तो फिर मैंने एक दिन क्या किया कि सोते समय पंखा ऑन कर दिया, फैन। ओके, तो उसकी आवाज से वो मास्क हो गया। तो मतलब ये है कि रात भर मुझे नींद अच्छी आई, और फिर मैंने वही करना चालू किया रोज। तो उससे ये तो नहीं है टर्नाइटिस चली गई होगी, लेकिन परेशानी दूर हो गई। तो कान जो है रिलैक्स रहता था। अच्छा, दिन में तो पहले भी नहीं होता था मुझे, सुबह थोड़ा होता था फिर बंद हो जाता था।
मुझे तो दिन रात चालू हो गया है। अभी आज मेरा बेटा बता
तो
रहा था,
पंखा बिल्कुल
उसका
कान
कोई
के पास
फ्रेंड है,
रखते हैं।
दे आर गोइंग टू
सुनिए,
ऑपरेट
तो
ऑन
आप ऐसा
ब्रेन।
करिए ना, कुछ वो पंखा चला के नॉइज कर दीजिए, जिससे कि आपको मास्क हो जाए।
पंखा आई नहीं तो कहाँ चलाऊं?
अरे खरीद लीजिए पंखा।
थोड़े से पंखा हमेशा पास रखिए।
पंखा खरीद लीजिए।
इतना
आप
ठंडी
जब
लग
तक
रहा है, उधर पंखा लगा के क्या करूं मैं?
नहीं,
ये
रात
तो
को
बहुत
तो
अच्छा
गर्मी
जो
होती
हवा
इलाज
है।
की आवाज होती नहीं है, वो मास्क कर देती है उसको।
वो जैसा पंखा रखा है ना पीछे छोटा सा,
है।
राज जी ने
इससे भी
वैसा।
छोटे आते हैं,
हाँ,
इससे भी छोटे
या
मिलते हैं।
हम भी चला लेते हैं रात को, गर्मी
हाँ,
लगती कई बार
वो
हमारे रूम
मास्क
में।
वो तो
इधर गर्मी, बाप रे, गर्मी तो भाग गई है, बॉम्बे में है
नहीं,
गर्मी।
इधर रजाई होती है, उधर पंखा होता है, दोनों चीज चलती है।
चलिए, तो हमारा टाइम तो हो गया है 4:51। तो आज का सेशन अच्छा हो गया, तो मैं रिकॉर्डिंग को स्टॉप करता हूँ एंड हम लोग 10 मिनट्स मेडिटेशन करेंगे अभी। ठीक है जी, तो स्टॉपिंग रिकॉर्डिंग। जय श्री कृष्ण।